client calls in and says that your application is slow. It sounds like a relatively straightforward process to resolve, but in fact, it can be kind of tricky at times. Is it the application? Is it the network? Is it something in between? With Avi, we make this pretty easy. If we're going to take a look at an application, let's say this Avi demo application, we can look at the health score, which is showing that it's not green and happy, it's orange, health score 47. We can delve into this further, and this gives us an indication that the performance of the site is 73 out of 100. It has some issues. So the health score is saying the site is up, but there are some issues that may need to get resolved. We can delve into the application itself, and instead of this finger pointing, this long exercise of deciding what the problem is, we can see very quickly here and see that the end user experience is the time it takes for the clients to interact with the application, the round trip time of TCP across the network, the amount of TCP time for the server to pick up a connection, the amount of time it takes the server to generate the content, and the amount of time it takes to transmit it back to the client. So an average round trip time from the client to get that object back is going to be 70 milliseconds. And if somebody says that the site was slow this afternoon, we can go take a look and say, yeah, it went from 70 milliseconds, then jump to 129 milliseconds. This is that mean time to innocence where we can start to say, okay, yeah, there is definitely a problem here. Now, what was that problem? What color spiked up? We see a spike in the orange and we see a spike in the purple here. That's the application response, how long it took the application to generate the content, to connect to the database, something there on the application side to generate this content and transmit it back. So we can see pretty quickly that there definitely was an issue, and it wasn't a networking issue, it wasn't a throughput issue. You can see connections, etc. Everything else basically looks good, but we can quickly triage and say, here's where the problem is. Now, if we want to know more details about this, a couple ways we can zoom in on this. One way is by delving further into the logs. When we look at the logs, we can sort by things that are errors and things that are not errors. But sorting by errors, we have more than 10,000 errors in the last 6 hours. And we can go and take a look at any one of these particular logs and go and expand it to go and see more details about the client, where they're coming from, what they're doing, which service engine or Avi load balancer that they're connecting to, the server on the back end, and details about the client request itself. So we can delve in further into each and every log or transaction. This is showing that the application response time was really high. The server took longer than expected to respond. So everything in blue, I can mouse over or click on that and have that be a filter to keep filtering down. In my case, I was looking for a slow application response, which great, that fits the bill. I can look up here and see it's taking, in this example here, it took 105 milliseconds for this for the client round trip time. Server RTT was 2 milliseconds. The app response was 96. So just different ways we can go about doing this. We can go and select any one of these and select that and filter on that. We could also go and create a custom filter based upon whatever it is that we're looking for. In my case, app response time greater than, and let's say something like 100 milliseconds. So filter for anything where the app responses are greater than 100 milliseconds. And we have about 4,600 logs in the last 6 hours. Notice also there's this nice correlation with that previous screen where we saw that big spike in time. We can go take a look at this and say, okay, of these errors, are they coming from all sorts of different clients or one specific type of client? Different OS, maybe a different location around the world. Since this is slow app response time, we can go and take a look at details like which servers are sending out these slow responses. And we can see 100% of these slow responses are all coming from the 9.3 server. So what we are seeing here is that the health score was showing us that your site is up, but it definitely has issues. When we delved in further, we were able to go and see a little bit more under the analytics and see that this looks like it's an application problem because it's not if it was a network issue, you'd see the green and purple or the blue and purple spike up depending upon where that network issue was. Instead, we were able to delve into the logs, see a little bit further and see that it's coming from specifically that 9.3 server is the one that's sending out these slow responses. So I don't have to resort to a TCP dump. I don't have to spend hours pointing fingers at other people in the boardroom trying to figure out what's going on. I can tell you immediately what the problem is and where the problem is. Take this data, hand this off to the application team, and let them go and resolve their issue. That's mean time to innocence, and that's troubleshooting without a TCP dump.